Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a very important chapter in mathematics, that is Basic Geometrical Ideas and Properties. So we will do different types of the questions having different ideas onto the board. So come now. So first, here are some ideas. Here are some concepts of the chapter. The sum of all angles on a point is 180 degree. So if there are different angles given on a point, for example, like this. So if this angle is given, this is given, this is given, this is given, this is given, and this one is given. So the sum of all angles will be equal to 180 degree. This is the first concept. Secondly, the lines which are parallel to each other are called parallel lines. And if these parallel lines are cut by a line, that line will be called transversal line. So suppose on this line this angle is given, that is A, this is B, this is C, this one is D, and this one suppose E. The concept is these angles which are given on a straight line. So A, B, or another example may be CD, which are given on the straight line. So look now, C and D are given on a straight line. E and D are also given on the straight line. These type of the angles which are given on the straight line are called adjacent angles. So these are adjacent angles, and their sum is 180 degree. So this is the concept. The second thing is vertically opposite. So whenever there becomes a cross, for example, here we can see E and C. So here are the lines crossing each other. So they are directly opposite to each other now. So E and C are vertically opposite angles, and these angles are equal. The next concept is corresponding angles. So if the angles are on the same slope, for example, look at these are two parallel lines. So angle E and angle B, look at their slope. This is same. Likewise, if suppose this angle is given DEF, so suppose look at the slope of F and A. So if the angles are on the same slope like A and F, or E and B, so if the angles are on the same slope, they are called corresponding angles, and they are equal. The next concept is alternate angles. So look at C and B, or D and A. So in these type of angles, actually there becomes Z shape. So look at C, that is here, and B here. So whenever a Z shape is made, so these types of angles are called alternate angles. So C and B and D and A are alternate angles, and they are equal. The next concept is interior angles. So if on the same slope one angle is C and the other angle is A, if you look on the other side of the slope, so on one angle that is making with one parallel line, that is D, and the other angle is B, so A and C, or B and D. So again, the sign is they will be on the same slope. One angle will be made with one parallel line, and the other angle will be on with the other parallel line, but on the same slope. So A and C, or on the other side, if you look at D and B. So these angles are called interior angles, and their sum is 180 degree. Here are some more types of the angles. So look now. So the first type is acute angle. If the angle is less than 90 degree, for example, of this type, this is called acute angle. The next type is right angle. If the angle is of this type, that is making 90 degree angle, that is called right angle, which is exactly equal to 90 degree. Next is obtuse angle. If the angle is greater than 90 degree and lesser than 180 degree, that angle of this kind, that angle is called obtuse angle. Next is straight angle. In which angle is exactly 180 degree. This is of this type. For example, here is the angle. The next type is reflex angle. That angle is greater than 180 degree but lesser than 360 degree. That angle is of this kind. Next type is complementary angles. If the sum of two angles is 90 degree, these will be called complementary angles. For example, if one angle is 48 degree and the second angle is 32 degree, so you can see the sum of the two angles is 90 degree. So these are two complementary angles. Next is supplementary. If the sum of two angles is 180 degree, these two will be called supplementary angles. For example, one angle is 145 and the other angle is 35. So you can see the sum of the 145 and 35 is 180. So these kind of the angles are called supplementary angles. Here are some questions in which the requirement is find the value of x. So if you look at this question, the concept of the sum of the angles on a point can be applied here, because on this point all the angles around it are given. So look here, 3x plus 5x plus 2x plus 90. So we have sum all the angles around a point, so that should be equal to 360. So 3x plus 5x 8x plus 2x 10x. This 90 will go to the right side and the remainder will be 270. 10 will go to the denominator, so x will be equal to 27 degree. In this question, if you look at the question, the sum all the angles on a straight line is given. So the sum of all the angles on a straight line is 180. The sum of all the angles around a point is 360, and the sum of all the angles on a straight line is 180. So look, this is the straight line on which all the angles are given. So we are going to add them. So 3x plus 4x plus 2x should be equal to 180. 3x plus 4x 7x plus 2x 9x. So 9x will be equal to 180. X will go 9 will go to the denominator, so the answer will be 20. In this question, the requirement is x. Okay, look here now, this is a straight line on which, okay, if this angle is 4x, this will be the opposite angle. This will also be 4x then. And if you look at this straight line now, not this one, because here is 4x, so this will be the opposite angle. So 4x is there. So look at this straight line. All the angles on this straight line are given now. So we will add them. So 2x plus 4x plus 3x, definitely it should be equal to 180, because these are the sum of the angles on a straight line. 2 plus 4 6 plus 3 9x should be equal to 180. 9 will go to the denominator, so the answer is 20. In this question, if you see, this is 4x, so this will be the opposite angle, that will be 4x2. And now if you look at these angles, 4x and 5x, these are inner angles. So the sum of the inner angle is 180 degree. So 4x plus 5x is equal to 180 degree. So 9x is equal to 180 and x is equal to 20. So these are the questions. Here are some more questions. If you look at these questions, parallel lines are there and some kind of the angles are also given. So whenever these kind of the questions come, so at every intersecting point, draw the parallel lines. For example, we will draw the parallel lines here. Here is the total angle X. So we are drawing a parallel line here. So because of this, 43 angle is this one. So the angle, this one will be 43 as well because of the alternate angles. And this is 39. So this angle will be 39 as well because of the alternate angles. So if you see now, if we add 39 and 43, that will make the angle X. So add them, that will make 82. So if these kind of the questions come, just draw the parallel lines on the crossing points of two lines. For example, here is the crossing point of the two lines. So we will draw the parallel line here. So if this is 123, this will be 123 as well because of the alternate angles. If this is 145, so this will be 145 as well because of the alternate angles. And now if you look, the sum of the angles around a point are all given. So their sum will be 180 degree. So X plus 123 plus 145 will be equal to 360 because sum of the angles of a point is applied. So X plus, this will be 148, 168, 268. So 268 is equal to 360. X will be equal to 68, so 92. So this is the answer. In this question, this is the intersecting point of the two lines and this is the intersecting point. So you will draw the parallel lines here and here. So these are the parallel lines. Now look, if this is 18, so this will be 18 because of the alternate angles. Okay, from top, if this is 37, this will be 37. Then look at this point. This total angle is given 285 and this is given 37. So add them and subtract from the 360, you will get this angle. Then this angle will be the alternate angle of this portion. So if we add them, 295, 305, 315, 320, 322, 322, and this angle is 38 degree. So what we have done is add them, 37 and 285, and the sum will be subtracted from 360 because here is the point on which two angles are given. Only the small portion was missing. So we subtract these two values from 360. So this angle is 38. So if this is 38, the alternate angle here will be 38 too. So if you look at the X now, X is the sum of 18 and 38. So the sum is 56. So this is the answer. Here are two more questions. So these two lines are parallel and this line is parallel. This angle is given 58 and the requirement is find the values of X and Y. So the method in this question is extend this line. So this is a straight line now. This angle is 58. So the sum of the angles on a straight line is 180 degree. So this angle will be 112. So if this angle is 112, so this angle will also be 112 because of the corresponding angles, because they are on the same slope. So if you look at this point now, the sum of all angles are given. So y plus 15 plus 112 will make 360. So from here, y plus 127 is equal to 360, and this 127 will be subtracted from 360. So 233 is the value of y. So the next requirement is x. So look at these two angles. If this is 112, this angle will be 68 because two angles are inner angles. So if this is 112, this will be 68. So if you look at this point now, the sum of all the angles are given. So 2x plus 12 plus 68 should be equal to 360. From here, 2x plus 80 is equal to 360. 2x is equal to 280 and x will be equal to 140. Okay, here is a question. These are parallel lines. So if this line is moved up to this vertex point, so this angle will be x, okay, this angle will be x, and if this line is moved up to this vertex, this angle will be 59. So it means x plus 59 should be equal to 118. From here, find the value of x using the calculator. So this is the answer.